Good day, dear students. Welcome back to Matrices and Systems of Linear Equations. So, this is my 9th video on this chapter. In this video, we are going to learn how to compute inverse using property of matrices. Okay. In our previous video, we already learned how to compute inverse using adjoint. Okay. Today, we will be learning properties. Okay. Now, if we are given, if we multiply two matrices A and B and we get an identity matrix multiplied by a scalar. Let's say we get A multiply B is Ki. So, we can find inverse. We can only find inverse when we get identity. Okay, the product must be in the form of identity. Okay, so how we going to find A inverse? We will be introducing A inverse on the left hand side and on the right hand side. Okay, so to find A inverse, you have to introduce A inverse. Okay, now very important students, this is a very important notes. Okay, you must understand when A inverse multiply A, okay, so we will be getting identity. Okay, any matrix here. Let's say B inverse multiply with B, we will be getting identity. Same, let's say we have A multiply A inverse, we will be also getting an identity matrix. So this is a very important note. So you must understand this first. This is property of matrices. Okay, if you understand this, you can do this part. Okay, now next. So why we introduce A inverse? Because we would like to find A inverse. So as I have explained to you earlier, A inverse multiply A will result to identity, and this is matrix B. Now on the left hand side, okay, this is the second property that you must learn. Any matrix multiply with identity will give you back the same matrix. Okay, for example, A multiply identity. Okay, B multiply identity will be giving you B. Okay, identity multiply any matrix. Okay, for example, A inverse, you will be getting back the same matrix. Okay, so here on the right hand side, when A inverse multiply identity, we will be getting identity here. Okay, students, I hope you all can follow. Now, remember, identity multiply any matrix, you will be getting back the same matrix. So here you will be getting B, and on your right hand side, this is K A inverse. So we are interested to find A inverse. We will bring the A inverse to the left hand side and we will bring the B to the right hand side. And the scalar here, we will bring it to here. So it will become 1 over K. So finally, how you get A inverse? It is 1 over K multiply matrix B. Okay, same thing. Let's say we have B multiply A and we get identity matrix in the form of identity. Okay, so in this case, we can find B inverse. We can also find A inverse, but we want to find, let's say we want to find B inverse. The same thing here. When you want to find B inverse, you will be introducing B inverse on both sides. Okay, so now remember, inverse times its own matrix, or B times B inverse, or B inverse times B will be giving you identity, and any matrix times identity will be giving you back the same matrix. Okay, and here identity multiply A will give you A equals to K B inverse. So finally, what is B inverse? 1 over K multiply A. So this is property of matrices. Okay, now note, if AB equals to I, that means there's no scalar. Okay, just I. Where A and B are square matrices, then B is called the inverse of matrix A, and it is also written as A inverse. Thus, A times A inverse equals to A inverse times A equals to identity. So this is very important. Okay, this is a very important property. Okay, now let's go to the example 15. Okay, so given matrix A and matrix B, show that AB equals to 6i. So this is an example of when we multiply two matrices, we get a matrix in the form of identity. Okay, so now let's try the question. Okay, we are supposed to find A multiply B. So we copy first matrix A, negative 2, 1, 1, 3, negative 2, 1, negative 1, 2, negative 1. So we're going to multiply this with matrix B. 0, 3, 3, 2, 3, 5, 4, 3, 1. Okay. Now AB equals to, first we're going to take the first row, multiply the column. So we have already done multiplication before. So negative 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 times 2 is 2, plus 1 times 4 is 4. So 2 plus 4 is 6. Okay, next we're going to take row 1 multiply column 2. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6 plus 3 plus 3. So negative 6 plus 3 plus 3 is going to give us 0. And row 1 times column 3. So negative 6 plus 5 plus 1 is also going to give us 0. And so on. So please try this on your own. So after you multiply, you will be getting 600, 060, 006. So this is equivalent to 6 multiply 100, 010, 001. Okay, students. So remember, 100, 010, 001 is identity matrix. So we have showed that AB equals to 6i. Okay, now deduce A inverse. Okay, students, be very careful with the word deduce. So when they are asking you to deduce, that means you do not have to find A inverse by using any method like adjoin. Okay, deduce means we are going to use what we have done before to find A inverse. It does not involve in finding the whole A inverse. Okay, so what we have done before is we managed to show that AB equals to 6i. We only have to deduce A inverse, not find, yeah? Okay, so as we have learned in our notes, we are going to, when we want to find A inverse, we will be introducing A inverse on both sides. Okay, now be very careful. If you introduce A inverse on the left hand side of your A, you also have to introduce A inverse on the left hand side of your identity. Okay, you can't go to the right hand side. Okay, now A inverse times A, if you remember the property, it will give you an identity matrix. Now any matrix times identity will be giving you back the same matrix. So here we have 6A inverse equals to, so identity, any matrix times identity will be giving you back the matrix, which is B. So remember, we are going to find A inverse. So A inverse is 1 over 6B. Okay, so we haven't finished. Okay, so 1 over 6B. So what is matrix B? 0, 3, 3, 2, 3, 5, 4, 3, 1. Okay, students. So this is supposed to be A inverse. Are we done? No. So if you are going to leave your answer like this, you will not be getting your full mark because you did not finish your operation. You still have to multiply 1 over 6 with every element. So 1 over 6 times 0 will give us 0. 1 over 6 times 3 will be giving us 1 over 2. And 1 over 6 times 3 will be giving us 1 over 2. 1 over 6 times 2 will be giving us 1 over 3, 1 over 2, 5 over 6. Now the last row is going to be 4 over 6 is 2 over 3, 1 over 2 and 1 over 6. Okay, students, so this is A inverse. Okay, this is the meaning of deduce. When you deduce, you do not go and find A inverse. You use the information before. information before is AB equals to 6I. Usually that is your first step, okay, to deduce. Okay, students. So this is on using properties to find A inverse. So this whole step here is actually property. Okay. So I hope you understand this. So I'm gonna stop here first. We will be discussing example 16 and 17 on my next video. So that's all for today. I hope you have achieved our learning outcome, which is using properties to find inverse. So we have a lot of exercises at the end of this lesson in your handouts. Please make sure you try your exercises and also complete your lecture notes. That's all for today. Thank you, students.